this is obviously, it's Predator. I mean, it's a huge franchise that everybody loves. So I'm assuming you were big fans and that was part of the reason you wanted to get involved in this project. Am I right? Or
I hate Predator, but I really no. I love the franchise and have distinct memories of being in third grade and not allowed to see it because it was an R-rated movie, and being told the entire film by a bunch of sixth graders in the back of like a minivan on the way to a karate tournament. So it was ever since then, I had been desperate to see it, and certainly now excited that I've made one.
yeah, it's crazy to see you've made a Predator movie, Prey, and it's so good. I mean, for you, Jhane, what's it like to produce a movie like this? I'm assuming it's complicated with so much going on.
It's amazing because I grew up on the Predator franchise. You know, that was one of the first action films that I saw, especially sci-fi with an alien in it. It's incredible. And it never had crossed my mind, because I'm not as brilliant as Dan, to have Comanches in there and have the, Predator land, in our time, in the 1700s. So for me, it's a great mix, because as a native producer, I always work on things that have native content, but like maybe the film has 20% native content, 25, and this has 100%.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Yeah, and how'd you go about casting something like this? I mean, you've got Amber Midthunder as Naru. Was that an easy pick? Did you go through like thousands of people, or how did that happen?
We worked with a great casting director, Renee Haynes, and certainly saw a number of people, but Amber immediately leapt to the front of the pack. And some of the auditions that we did, we did the scene between her and her mother, and we did one just as scripted. We did another version that was non-verbal, the same scene that has a lot of words in it, but I didn't let the actors use any of the words. They had to perform it without speaking, and Amber's performance of that was just so incredibly moving. And then we had a physical round where we built sort of an obstacle course so we could see everyone's physicality, and Amber never stopped digging into the drama of every moment, even when the task was just to like crawl around or leap over a thing. So she was tremendous even from our very first look.
Okay, and Jhane, you mentioned, I mean, the 1700s. This is a Predator movie. It's kind of a prequel. So what did you make of that concept? Was it exciting to do something that was fresh for the franchise, if you know what I mean?
Yes, and it was really fresh for me. I've worked on some period things, but most everything is modern day. But to kind of go back in history, to the 1700s, it was really refreshing for me, because I felt like I was, like living a life that my ancestors had already lived. Yeah. So I really like that.
Yeah. And Dan, I mean, did you feel like you had a lot of freedom making this? I was wondering. I mean, it doesn't have a huge budget, this movie, like this is streaming, but you made it a lot of it. So were you allowed to go where you wanted with this movie? Do you know that kind of way? Is it more freedom in that?
Yeah. I mean, by the way, it had a healthy budget. I mean, at no point did anyone think, oh, it's streaming, so let's cut corners. We had the appropriate amount of money and time to make the movie giant. And yeah, that was part of the impulse of going so far back in time, was also even just with the Predator creature, to make something that could be as surprising to even diehard fans of the franchise. We get to iterate on the creature design itself, as well as the arsenal of weapons that he wields. There's some fun new toys for people to look forward to seeing him use.
Was that pure excitement, or was that any nerves changing the look? Do you know what I mean? Messing with the Predator. That's so much fun, but the fan base is so big. And
yeah, absolutely. We didn't know until very recently that the thing we were doing would be accepted by fans. So far, so good. There's still more to come. But it also was absolute pure joy to be making things that I could hope one day maybe there'll be a Nerf version of this that a young third grader that isn't allowed to see this movie can play with and pretend.
Brilliant. Listen, guys, congratulations on the film, and thanks, Amy, for talking to me.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Take care.